Last recipe of March, let's not waste any time and get right into it. Alright, so we're going to start with 220 grams of 105-degree Fahrenheit water. Pour that into a bowl and add 10 grams of sea salt. Mix that together and then add 15 grams of olive oil and then about 1/6 of a teaspoon of instant yeast. Mix all of that together. And then we're going to slowly pour in 330 grams of tepo 00 flour. Mix it all together briefly, and then we're going to incorporate our last ingredient, 15 grams of honey. Mix all of that together for a good 15 minutes, hand kneading it, and then we're just going to form a loose shape of a dough ball, and we're going to leave that to rest at room temperature for 1 hour under a dampened cloth. After the hour, we're going to form our 2 dough balls. This recipe makes 2 dough balls. And you are going to leave it to rest at room temperature for 6 to 8 hours, ready to use that same day. As we wait for our dough to rise, let's make our classic Neapolitan pizza sauce. Okay, our recipe, we're going to start with 1 can of San Marzano tomatoes. Just loosely crush them up, taking out a lot of the pieces. And then we're going to add salt and sugar, crushed red pepper, and about 8 big leaves of basil. Put it all together, and then we are going to take our emulsifier and just pulse this, pulsing, not too much blending, just a couple pulses until it is good and consistent. Okay, so let's get our chicken parmesan ready. First, we're going to start with the breading for the chicken. Start with 1 cup of your choice of breadcrumbs, then add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of parsley, and then salt and pepper to taste. Mix that all together and put that aside. To make sure that our seasoning is tasted everywhere, we're going to season our flour and eggs as well. So add your flour to a large flat bowl and then add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of parsley. Mix that together. Crack 2 large eggs. Season it with 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of parsley, salt and pepper to taste, and then mix that all together. We're going to leave our egg wash, flour, and breadcrumbs aside, ready to go. Take your chicken breasts and butterfly them. If they're still not thin enough, you can pound them down a bit. And then we're going to go egg wash, flour, egg wash, finish with our breading. Do this for as many pieces of chicken as you're going to be using. I'm going to only use 2. So we have a few options for cooking our chicken. We could fry it, we could deep fry it, we could bake it. We're going to go with the least healthy, most delicious option of deep frying it. So we're going to do this about 1 hour out, or you could do it 30 minutes out. Really, you could do this as the last thing right before your pizza is ready to be cooked. So before you make your pizza about an hour out, remember, oven preheats to as high as it can go, and cheese in the freezer. You're going to get your oil temperature all the way up to 375 degrees, and then cook your chicken breasts for about 5 to 7 minutes, really depending on how thinly you had pounded them down. Take your chicken and then slice them into strips and leave that to the side. With our chicken ready, it is now pizza time. Pizza out of the bowl. Flour bath on both sides. Place it on your surface. Push the air towards the outsides, pushing that air into the crust, and then use your right hand to hold the dough, pulling with your left, and you're going to stretch and form your dough. Top it with your pizza sauce. Sprinkle on our cheese, and just like this, we're going to throw it into the oven for about 5 minutes. Now, once it's back out after 5 minutes, you're going to throw on our fried strips of deliciousness. Add some splotches of additional sauce on each piece and coat it with Parmesan cheese. Back into the oven for another 3 to 5 minutes. Top it with some fresh basil, and there you have it. Chicken Parm Pizza. Your homework today is to love this pizza as much as I do. Try it out. Let me know how it goes. Take a picture, upload it to social media, tag Classroom Pizza, and explain to me what you liked, what you didn't like, and how everything went. Well, that's it for March Recipe Madness. 5 weeks, 5 brand new recipes. I hope you have loved these recipes as much as I do. Hopefully you found at least one that you said, this is the one I'm going to make forever moving forward. So I will see you guys next week for a new month of Classroom Pizza, and as always, thanks for coming to class.